Hey everyone, it's your cousin, Kitwana. It is finally time for another episode of Kitwana's Toys after a long time, and it is also July 29th today, which means it is International Tiger Day, and this day is dedicated to our striped big cat friends here to create awareness of the urgency of the need of conservation and protection of these magnificent creatures. Definitely some of the most popular species in the animal kingdom, and even I as a lion have to admit tigers are really cool animals that deserve our love and protections because they already are endangered, and very important to conserve these species for future generations to come. And I thought I would use the opportunity of today's International Tiger Day to take you on a very quick look of my Tiger Plus collection. I've got 4 Tiger Pluses with me here, and that's actually my entire collection of Tiger Pluses, because I am very picky when it comes to plushies, and you may have already seen some of my really big life-size and realistic lion plushies, and these tigers are pretty much the same concept. They all have something in common, these plushies. Each of them has a molded head. You can hear that really well. These heads are hard and not soft to the touch, and they all have a plastic nose and all feature the same eyes, and some of them even additional features, such as this one has rubber lips, and this one's got even got whiskers. And the other thing that they have in common is they were likely made at the very same factories in China. There's actually 2 factories where they were made, and both of them are in the city of Weihai. There's a company that's called Weihai New Tiger Toy, and another one that's Weihai Lion Toy. But from what I've learned is that these companies are basically the same. It's the same people behind, and they specialize in the design and manufacturing of lifelike large-size plushies like this. And we have looked at this type of plushies in an earlier episode of Kitwana's Toys, number 43, and I'll give you the link on the screen right now to this episode. And we have also looked at some of these tigers individually in earlier episodes. I'll give you the link to these episodes as well. But still, I would like to introduce you to my 4 tigers. Let's start with the smallest one, which is this one here, and I love this one so much. He serves really well as a pillow. As you can see, it's a very unique pose. It's a resting tiger, and this one is around 70 centimeters long, measured from his nose to where his tail begins. And this is actually one of my oldest Tiger Plushies. I got this one back in 2007, and this was an eBay purchase. Actually, all of these 4 tigers were eBay purchases, so I was not able to source them directly from the factory in Weihai, China, unfortunately. I'm still looking for ways to import single plushies directly from the factory there, but it looks like that's pretty difficult, as they only sell them in bulk in entire containers, and there's minimum order quantities and such. But anyway, I've got one of these resting tigers here with me, and this one Has a beautiful face, look at that. He's even still has his whiskers, and the eyes on these plushies actually all come from Japan, from the same factory in Japan. They are imported to China, to Weihai, where they are inserted into these plushies, and the eyes definitely make a plushie. I mean, this tiger looks really, really nice and realistic. Beautiful airbrush markings around its face, and the plastic nose, of course. And I really like how he's resting on his left foreleg. And this is one of the plushies that have a harder stuffing, so it serves excellently as a pillow. And despite it's already 15 years old, it still looks pretty good. I cuddle a lot with him, but so far no seams packed, nothing. Everything is still the way it should be, and of course I sanitize them frequently and clean them so that they look like two royal tigers. Since this one is the smallest one I have, I would also consider him to be one of the smaller tiger species. It could very well be a Sumatra tiger or something like that. And I'm going to move on to the next one. Is this guy here, and look at that. This is a larger model, and this one measures 120 centimeters from his paws to where his tail begins, and this one is certainly very special. Take a look at his face. That's the most detailed face on a tiger plushie I have ever seen. Look at the airbrushing around the eyes, and then crest's head, and we've got an open mouth here. It's really, really beautiful how they modeled this one. It even got the more or less correct amount of teeth in there. You can actually slightly open, close. Its mouth has even got a tongue, rubber tongue. The teeth are made of rubber as well, so it's not dangerous for any young kids. Perfectly fine to cuddle with. No, he doesn't bite. And it's got a molded head as well. Goes all the way. The mold actually all the way goes to up here, just behind his ears. And look at this stripes and how his knees are molded and everything. Very, very nice. And this is a shorter pile fur, and you can see it's kind of a different base color than the other three tiger plushies, but it really, really stands out. And it's actually my newest one. I got it back in 2020, 3 years ago, and this is the only plushie that actually comes with a tag. And it's a tag of the German importer in northern Germany, Brubaker, which I guess imports these animals directly from Weihai. Just like this smaller tiger here, the resting tiger. This one, the open-mouthed tiger, is actually still available. My tip is to look on the German eBay site, ebay.de, and search for Plush tiger there, and you will definitely find both of them as of right now in mid-2023. So that's good. That if you really, really want one of these, you can actually still get them. This one costs about 100 euros, but it's definitely worth the price. I mean, these are beautifully made, and actually, I do not consider these plushies toys. They are more like a piece of art. I mean, consider how much effort goes into the design and the manufacturing of these. Uh, Even though they are made in China, they're still expensive. It's all manual labor and everything. And here's something you didn't know yet, maybe. All of these tigers start out as white tigers, actually. The golden color that you see is all airbrushed. And all the details around the face is airbrushed as well. The base color of the fur of all of these plushies, you can see here, is white. You can see this very nicely on the belly of this one as it transitions into the original white fur. Hope you can see that on the camera. And take a look on the paws, how beautifully these are airbrushed. The paw pads, wow, this is really, really nice. That's definitely more of a huggable piece of art rather than a children's toy, although it's perfectly fine for kids of all ages. Not really young babies, of course, because these plushies are rather heavy, but perfectly fine for young kids and upwards. Oh, they are so, so huggable. Look at that. Oh. I cuddle with them a lot. And here, this guy here, we haven't done a Kitwana's Toys episode on him yet, but this one is actually my favorite. He's only slightly smaller than my largest tiger over here, and I do consider him to be a Bengal tiger. Bengal tigers are the most common subspecies of tiger, commonly found in India and surrounding countries. And this one's really special. But I still think he originates in the same factories like the other three. Take a look at his face. The eyes, how the eyes are done, how they are inserted is really, really unique. He looks really, really cute somehow, really friendly, and besides the plastic nose, he's the only tiger that features rubber lips, and that's really, really cool. That adds another level of realism. He never came with whiskers for some reason. But that's cool. I mean, makes for better cuddlings and hugs without having to fear the whiskers would fall out. And the fur is somewhat of a medium pile, still rather short, but extremely, extremely durable. I mean, it's very different to the smallest one and even the biggest one. He still feels the same like when I got him back in 2011, and that's already 12 years ago. And I cuddle a lot with him. Actually, I have wrapped my arms around him virtually every night like this as I sleep here on my bed, and the fur still feels very, very, very nice. Did I mention the size? It's about 150 centimeters. That's around 60 inches from his front paws all the way back to where his tail begins. And he's one of the softer plushies. These two, the smaller two, are pretty hard, but this one is very soft. You can see, you can actually move his head, his neck pretty well. And, oh, that's a beautiful, beautiful tiger plushie for sure. And I don't think I will ever give him away. This one already cost up to $200, and I have actually never seen again the exactly same model like this one, so I consider him a unique piece. He doesn't have a tag or anything, just like the others. This one's the only one that came with a tag, but it doesn't make him less beautiful. Actually, speaking of beautiful, have you seen that beard around his head? They really took care of each and every tiger detail on these plushies. I'm pretty sure the artists work with photos, and it would be interesting to know what tiger exactly served as a model for each of these animals. And now we will close our video by looking at the largest tiger. Oh, wow, that's my largest boy that I have. He's the 160 centimeter size, measuring over 60 inches from the front paw all the way to where his tail begins. And you can see he's got a longer pile of fur, and also transitions very nicely into white on his underbelly. And look at that face. Wow. This one's definitely a Siberian tiger due to its size and the longer pile of fur. This is the longest fur on all of the 4 plushies that I have. Look at his eyes. Oh, he looks kind of mean, somewhat aggressive. And you can see he's got the whiskers and the lips. He doesn't have rubber lips like the slightly smaller one, but he's got the whiskers for added realism. And of course, that head is molded as well. And because he's got a longer pile of fur, he's slightly worn out, even also his stuffing around his neck, because I always keep him like that at night, has become somewhat dislocated, but at least you do not see it. You can only feel it slightly when you hug him. But he's still very cuddly and huggable. Look at his massive paws. These are the size of my paws. Wow. Now the only thing he's missing is actually claws. That would be cool if these plushies would have rubber claws in them. That would be cool. You can see also very nice airbrushing of his paw pads. Just a bit less detailed because of the longer pile of fur. But something I wonder is, why didn't they do the paw pads black like it would be on the real tigers? That's the only thing I don't really get about these plushies, because otherwise they look so beautiful and realistic. And this one is heavy. Oh wow! Look at that. And he makes an excellent pillow as well. Can you imagine sitting or laying like this in the evening and watching TV? Oh, that's so cool. This model is actually also still somewhat easy to find, although pretty expensive, figure around $200 to $300. But definitely worth it. I've seen so many furries actually having exactly this model, so it must be one of the most produced tiger plushies that the 2 Weihai factories have manufactured. And I can understand that. I mean, that's almost close to a life-size tiger, to a one of the smaller subspecies of tiger, but I still consider him a Siberian tiger due to his massive size compared to the others, and his longer pile furs. Siberian tigers are found in eastern Russia and parts of China and Korea. That's where they feel at home in these colder climates, and they are perfectly prepared for that with long fur. So I really, really like how pretty much every detail has been taken care of on these plushies. These are definitely toys that you do not put on a shelf just to look at, but actually use each and every night. I mean, mine spends their time on my bed all the time, every day, each night, together with lions that we have looked at in an earlier episode. And they're definitely some of my favorite toys that I own. As said, I'll give you some more details on how to get these plushies in the description of the video below. And with that being said, I am going to enjoy the rest of International Tiger Day and then make it a very good night among my 4 tigers and make sure I give them lots of hugs and cuddles today. Bye.